record. He's Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson, and this is not another shooting show. We go to New Haven, Connecticut, where a 43-year-old man suffered non-life-threatening injuries on Thursday night after accidentally, in quotation marks, shooting himself. According to police, around 9:17 p.m. on Thursday, officers responded to a walk-in shooting victim at the hospital. The victim was receiving medical care for a gunshot wound where it appeared that the victim accidentally shot himself while in the apartment of a friend. The interesting part of this story is that a firearm was not located, but there might be charges as police investigate. They're asking for people with information to call them and let them know. So he shot himself, but they didn't find the gun.
Did they check the toilet?
Or the tank of the toilet. That's the place to hide stuff.
Yes.
I learned that from NCIS. That's where you hide stuff, is the tank of the toilet.
Correct.
It's also where you do the old upper decker.
Or you throw it in the vents for your AC.
By the way, an
The
upper
heating
decker
vent.
is where you take a poop in the tank of the toilet, not in the toilet. Just in case someone didn't know. The first time I heard that, I laughed for 10 minutes. I thought it was the funniest thing ever. Like, oh my God, you're going to poop in the tank? What's that going to look like in a week? Good hell. All right. So, we had a thing Jeff posted in our Reddit a while ago, and we completely forgot to talk about it. It was posted 10 days ago, and we didn't talk about it in the 2 episodes we recorded like prior to last year. Yeah, the ones, would they have been the ones after Christmas? Yeah, the ones after Christmas.
Yep.
We didn't talk about it. That's when we should have talked about it, but we completely forgot to talk about it, so we're going to talk about it now. Actually, you didn't post it. Ray Fufu did. The wildest match you've ever been to. So, Jeff, I'll start with you. The wildest match you've ever been to.
I mean, it's hard to beat our local 3-gun scene. I've seen shotgun dump barrels blown out. I've seen rifles just dragged by their barrel through the squad. I've seen guns dropped and just all kinds of shenanigans. I mean, there's 2 sides to wild. There's unsafe, and then there's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And my what the fuck is going on was the Florida Open 2 or 3 years ago. That's the one me, Ross, and Ben Starretts went to in like January. And I saw DQ reversed with video evidence. It was 10 32-round all open target stages. Most of the stages were, I was told by ROs on the stage that here are the 180 traps. I wouldn't have approved these. If I was the match director, I would not have approved these stages. I saw Ross almost get DQ'd for stepping on the berm that was like 3 inches from the edge of the shooting area, because he was falling out of the position. And they're like, hey, you're too tall. If you had taken one more step up, we would have DQ'd you for being over the berm. And I raised my hand and said, so what about me?
I'm just walking around and I'm higher than that.
Correct. Which also created another one where I pointed a gun at someone and wasn't thinking, and I was like, ruh-roh. So this is at Frostproof, Florida. There's safety tables are like railroad ties stacked up or whatever, making like a little bunker.
Yeah.
But they only stacked them like 6 feet high. And so when I put my bag on the table, drew my gun out, formed my grip, and I was above the berm pointing at someone downrange. And I was like, ruh-roh. So I quickly put my gun back down and shuffled over because the safety table was wider than the berm itself. And so, yeah, that was kind of the wildest series of events that nothing technically bad happened. The guy who got his DQ reversed with video evidence later pointed a gun at my squad and didn't get DQ'd. And they were also a Brazilian squad. And the reason that matters is because they would not fucking paste. And so one time we were like, hey, maybe if we like shame them by pasting for them, they'll like get the picture. They then proceed to sit out and not paste at all. And we were like, well, this didn't work.
They were on your squad?
No, they were the squad in front of us. And they were going so slow that we were stuck sitting in the Florida heat.
See, that's where the match director has to come over and go, look, guys, if you don't reset the stage, we're going to DQ your ass.
Right.
Because that's allowed under 10-6 on sportsmanlike conduct. So if you're not helping to reset the stage the way everyone else has to, that's something I have so much intolerance for. Like, I shot Area 3 one year where a guy brought his kid, and his kid didn't do shit. Like, when he shot. And actually for like I don't know how old he was, 11, 12, whatever, doesn't matter. Like, he's pretty good. Like, if you're capable of shooting, you're capable of resetting the stage and putting stickers on cardboard. Like, we're talking about putting stickers on cardboard. A 12-year-old kid can put stickers on cardboard. And I was getting pissed because I'm having to go do this. And this kid is sitting back there when it's hot in Grand Island and dicking around on a phone. And finally, I said something to the kid's dad. I'm like, why don't you get him to help reset like everybody else? Well, he's just a kid. I'm like, I don't care. If he can shoot the match, he can reset the stage. I don't give a shit if he's a kid. The fact that he's a kid is irrelevant. Like,
right.
Get him off his ass and make him go reset.
Yeah. That did remind me of, I think first or second year that I shot Area 3, I had a guy in our squad who had way too much money and not enough sense because he had 2 or 3 open guns. His daughter was shooting an open gun. I don't remember if she had her own but like, it was like her first match. I'm like, you have her shooting open in her first match? That's dumb. But what made it like terrifying was he had one of those like spinal medical devices that kind of like spasms for, I forget what they're for. But he would bump fire the gun every shot, like to the point where the RO called stop and had, I think Troy was the range master, or
might have been
that come over and like verify that it wasn't going full auto. This dude took 3 big sticks on a 32 round stage and ran out of ammo with an open gun.
Oh my God.
Because he was bump firing every shot. So every shot, every target turned in, instead of 2 shots, it was 4 to 6 shots. Because it was blah, 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 blah. Like, and I'm like, homie, you need to change this up. Like, this ain't working for you.
Mm-hmm. Wildest match I ever went to, it wasn't wild because it was unsafe. It was wild because it was dumb. It was a 3-gun match in Marshall, Minnesota, or near Marshall, Minnesota, I'll say. And the guys running the match, like, the stages were fine for the most part. Like, the stages were actually like fun and interesting to shoot for a 3-gun match. The thing that was a little bit weird was it was a small range and it was a 2-day match. So they built like 4 or 5 stages and then they completely rebuilt 4 or 5 new ones for day 2. And
interesting.
Yeah. So there were some very questionable things about, the stage briefs, like there were none written. And so a squad like shoots the stage one way, the next squad is shooting it a little different because the ROs were, the ROs were dedicated on the stages, but most of the shooting stuff was weird. But the guys who were running the match, they were like letting each other reshoot it a bunch.
Oh,
they shot after everybody else shot, prior to prize table. So everybody's waiting on them to shoot because, they reset the stages the night before, because they had to rebuild them. And so they do all these changes, and then they didn't have time to shoot. So then they shoot after everybody else shot on day 2. So we all have to wait around for them to finish shooting. Because they did have a prize table with some cool stuff on it. And it was random draw, I do believe. The prize I ended up getting is, this is where it got really funny, because in the tight-wattedness to have a prize for everybody, I ended up winning a mount for a steel target.
So not the steel target, the thing on the back.
Nope. The thing that holds it to a T-post. Now, I was pretty sure I knew where the steel target came from. It came from Atlas Target Works, dude in Watertown, who I know. And I said, Brad, is this one of your target? I took a picture and I texted it to him. I'm like, Brad, is this one of your target mounts? It's just like 2 hooks for an IPSC plate. And then it mounts, you run it down over a T-post, and it works fantastic. Great little design. And he said, that depends. Are you happy with it? And I said, I don't know. I don't have a target to put it on. He's like, what? And I told him, I shot that match over in Marshall, and they separated the target from the mount. And I believe he called them knuckleheads, and then offered me half price on any target that would fit that mount. So, nice. Which was very nice of him. But and actually what I got a really cool target with it. I bought the 1/2-inch IPSC, like a 1/2-inch AR 500 steel target. So it'll take pounding from rifle really well. And I'll use that. I'll take it out west and set it up. A buddy of mine borrowed it to get ready for his elk hunt. But, so I love the target. It was just like, this match was just a fucking disaster. Everything about it was just weird. And I mean, it's the ultimate outlaw match. Like, there's no rules. It's just sort of like common law, common knowledge rules, and right. I hated it. Ray Fufu on the post said he watched someone get DQ'd for blatant flagging and then throw a full-on temper tantrum, throwing their gun and everything.
I want to say I might throw hands. If someone's like throwing firearms, I might throw hands, because like that's not okay.
No. Like, throwing a mag is perfectly fine though, right?
Yes, 110%. Mags are fine. But
you and I both threw mags at Cornhusker last year.
Yep. Todd had a guy that, I don't remember if he was getting DQ'd or it was something at a steel challenge match, and the guy got done shooting, or I think he got done shooting. Todd called a miss or something, and the guy turned around with his gun in his hand, and Todd just stopped him and was like, holster up, unload and clear. And he's like, we're not going to have a conversation while you have a gun in your hand.
Yeah.
But
wow.
Yes. No tempers with guns.
Ray also heard the RO give the command to load and make ready while multiple folks were still resetting the stage on a jungle run.
That's a fight on site.
You know what though? I'll admit I have accidentally done that before. There was still somebody down range behind a wall. I couldn't see him, and I just got in the routine because everybody was back in time, and that's why if you're the RO, you don't have to necessarily walk the whole stage, but you gotta check.
Right, you gotta be able to see all the parts. That's one reason I don't like opaque walls. Like, people Reddit comments and all those things, like, what? Oh, you can see through the walls. You're like, yeah, because I need to know there's not a human being down there.
Mostly first off, no one likes hauling heavy ass walls, and second, it's kind of a safety thing. So, and then watched our RO DQ himself after blowing the bottom out of a barrel while retrieving his shotgun. Never went back. This club no longer hosts multi-gun. Weird. Yeah. Well, at least he DQ'd himself,
Right. He's not like, oh man, no one saw that.
Yeah. I want to read some of the stories because the stories were fantastic. Dan posted in here, friends and I shot the cornfield brutality in-range match a couple years ago back at Brownells. The comment I make is the people were 2 times weirder than I expected, and I expected bad. We watched a guy shoot a pistol stage with some CNR pistol with
2 6-round mags.
Oh, 2 6 or 7 round mags with his buddies stuffing them back full on the clock behind him. During unload and show clear, he took the mag out and roasted one into the ground right at his feet. In our squad, people traveled from both coasts to participate, and a few of them couldn't run 100 yards if they needed to. It was pretty clear no one really prepared, and they were really just there for the event. Iowa USPSA guys took 5 of the top 10 finishes.
Yep.
Of course. That's the thing. Like, I want to go find one of these brutality matches and just go clean up prizes.
Right. So for those who may not know, the In-Range TV is a YouTube channel, and they do what these things called brutality matches. The brutality matches are supposed to be, they're not quite the tactical games, but they're not 2-gun. Like, they're not like USPSA Hit Factor 2-gun. They'll run a stage where, like, they have a plate rack, and you're standing at the table, you pick up the gun, shoot one of the plates, then you will down the pistol in they'll have like a 5-gallon bucket like off to the side. So you down your pistol in the bucket, then you run up to the plate you just knocked down, put it back up, run back to the table, shoot 2 plates, put pistol down, run, reset those, and so you're resetting this plate rack, and it's supposed to like replicate getting your heart rate up and yada yada yada. But they also encourage a level of weirdness. So like someone ran a stage in one of those dinosaur costumes. They like LARPing, so they will be in full. They actually have cowboy divisions, and they will be in full leathers. They do everything is required. If they don't have a gamer division anymore that I'm aware of, like, you're required to have a fixed blade knife, a liter of water, and like a med kit on your gear, and you're supposed to have plates and a bump helmet and the full LARPing accoutrement. And so like it's supposed to be like they're preparing for war, but like Dan said, the majority of people who show up, and like this is why when people are like, oh, it's the cost. It's not the cost, it's the motivation, because these dudes will show up with tens of thousands of dollars of equipment and travel from like the coast to be there and shoot a 4-stage match.
Yeah. I saw Owen posted under this about a wild DQ that did not happen. But if you want to hear about that wild DQ, I'm afraid you're going to have to join the Patreon. Patreon.com/notanothershootingshow. It's only $3.57 a month. Okay? I know there's a couple of people who get really wound up about subscriptions, but God damn it. It's $3.57 a month plus your local tax rate for sales tax. Patreon.com/notanothershootingshow. It's really not that big of a deal. We're not getting rich anyway. It's just a tip jar, basically, at this point. And you get more of our show. You're already listening. You already like it. Go subscribe. Patreon.com/notanothershootingshow.